What's going on, guys? My name's ExxotikGaming, and welcome back to another brand new Pixel Gun 3D weapon review. We are taking a look at a brand new 14.1.0 prehistoric updates heavy weapon that a lot of you all have wanted to see me do a video on, the soda launcher. I hope you guys are excited for it. Now, if you remember, a couple of days ago, I mentioned that I would potentially do a giveaway for this most recent updates. Well, I'm happy to say that that giveaway is now on. If you guys want an account in Pixel Gun 3D that has every single clan weapon, every single new weapon, and every single removed gun in Pixel Gun 3D, then be sure to go look at the description because there is a list of everything you need to do in Pixel Gun 3D to ensure yourself to enter into the giveaway. With that being said, though, let's get into this. Going into the armory section, heading over to our heavy section, this is the soda launcher. My best description of the soda launcher is it's a less powerful form of the pumpkin thrower. The pumpkin thrower is legendary with a 34 power and a 17 combat level versus this one. It's only rare. It has a 27 power and a 16 combat level. On the contrary, though, this weapon is less expensive, and that's why a lot of people probably are considering getting this weapon. This weapon has a 70 firing rates with a 6 capacity and a 65 mobility. And the key thing about this weapon that makes it unique, not too many other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D has this, but a few others do, it is the looping shots. Now, that basically means if I was to fire at somebody across the map, I wouldn't just fire like that, because as you could see, the blast didn't go all the way to the opposite wall. With this weapon, you basically need to aim above where the enemy is going to be, and that way you can account for the arc that this weapon has. This weapon is a 3-shot kill, so definitely not the most powerful area damage weapon in the world, and especially at higher levels, it's going to be really difficult to get kills with this thing, because most players have 1-shot kill weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. As you will see throughout this video, I will instantly die with the snap of a fingers basically every single time I see somebody. So being able to hit all 3 shots is going to be somewhat difficult when you're using this weapon. Will you get a ton of kills as a max level player? Probably not. But if you're watching this and you are a lower level player, you're maybe between levels 1 and 25, then this might be something that is actually really powerful because it will be a lot less than 3 shots at some of those lower levels. You're going to look at a weapon that might be 2, maybe even a 1-shot kill. And having this weapon be like that will be very good. So I feel like this is a weapon that is much more for some of the lower level players in Pixel Gun 3D. You guys will see throughout this video, I am a max level player, so I'm not going to get great gameplay with this weapon. If you're watching this and you are level 38 in Pixel Gun, your best bet is to not get this weapon. I'm saying that flat out here right at the very beginning, because as you can see, the chances of avoiding somebody with a 1-shot kill weapon is pretty slim at max level. But if you encounter a lot of players that maybe have the Hellraiser or weapons that really aren't 1-shot and they're just solid assault rifles and other things like that, then, well, this weapon might actually be really freaking powerful. Now, I love the way this weapon is designed. I liked the pumpkin thrower a lot. I used that weapon a lot when it was first introduced. It was introduced a long time ago, I believe Halloween 2014, so it's been a while since that weapon was introduced. Now, that is just like a lot of the other weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, one of the guns that now has a reskin, and this is the reskin. So, really, the cool thing about this weapon is if you are a lower level player and you get this weapon, and you learn how to do well with this weapon, you get some pretty good gameplay with this weapon, eventually, when the pumpkin thrower comes back and you are a high enough level to get the pumpkin thrower, then this weapon will be an even better version. The pumpkin thrower is basically a better version, so that's really cool. Again, if you are a higher level player, you're going to descend into a lot of lower leagues when you use this weapon because it is very difficult to get pretty much any kills when you're using this weapon, especially if you encounter a lot of jetpacks, which if I encounter any jetpacks when I'm using this weapon, I just leave instantly. That is what I recommend you guys to do, and that will make your gameplay a lot better. Do not try to take anybody that is at a very far range out with this weapon, and because of this, only use this weapon in Silent School. Pool Party, Coliseum, maps like that. You do not want to use this weapon at long range because it will just be the most painful experience ever. Having that looping shot makes it so difficult to take people out, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And like I said, your best bet is to just stay at close range. Stay very close to these enemy players and maybe have a chance at taking them out. I'm emphasizing on the word maybe because it is a very big maybe. It's hard. It's really hard to take people out, and unfortunately, even within this match here, I believe there might even be a hacker, so that's even more difficult. If you encounter a hacker, just don't even bother. Don't even bother. You probably want to leave because it's going to make things a lot better for you. So, in the end, with this weapon, is this weapon a really good weapon for some of the higher level players in Pixel Gun 3D? Obviously not. I'm not doing well with this weapon at all. You guys can see that, and that's kind of Pixel Gun's problem in and of itself for making too many OP weapons, but the fact of the matter is, this is a weapon that is intended for lower level players in Pixel Gun 3D. This is almost one of those weapons that you would use like as a challenge because it's that low of a leveled weapon. It's really difficult to get kills with this weapon, and it's not something you're going to want to use to win matches with if you are a max level player. Now, if you are a max level player and you do get this weapon and you want to maximize the amount of kills you could potentially get with this thing, there are ways you can do that. What you can do is, when you're using this weapon, use this as a sort of backup type of weapon, where you primarily maybe use your third eye, which if you can manage to not get a one-shot kill on somebody like this person right here, then you can finish them off with the soda launcher and then get that kill. If you can damage people a lot with maybe your assault rifle or something like that beforehand, maybe you use the Poseidon Trident like this guy is using right here and don't kill the enemy player, when you're using this thing, it'll turn from a 3-shot kill to a 1-shot kill, depending on how low the person's armor level is. So ideally, you don't want to go up against somebody that has max armor. You want to find somebody that's low. You want to find somebody that already has some damage dealt to them, and that way when you actually take out your soda launcher, it's not a 3-shot kill. Now, you can get some pretty cool kills with this weapon. I'm not saying that this weapon is just completely pointless at a max level player, especially in maybe maps like Heaven Garden, where you are very high up above enemy players. You could use this weapon and sort of aim down to where somebody might be. You wouldn't even be able to see them, but since this weapon has that looping shot, you can hit players that you never even knew were there. So as you can see here in Silent School, pretty much one of your optimal maps for this weapon, I only got 5 kills. That's probably about what everybody at max level is going to get consistently when they use this weapon. You might have those rare times where you're going to get up to 10 kills, but most of the time, using the soda launcher at max level, you're only going to be getting about 5 kills in matches that you go into. If, like I said, you use this weapon the entire time. If you don't use this weapon the entire time and you use it the more proper way, where, as I said, it's more of like a backup weapon in Pixel Gun 3D, where you primarily use either your sniper or your special weapon or your primary weapon, and then you finish off the person with this thing, then this will actually transform into a very powerful weapon, which I might actually do in this video. I'm going to equip weapons that I would maybe normally use in Pixel Gun 3D, like my Casanova, like my Monster Blaster, my Steampunk Fist, stuff like that, and then I'm going to finish the players off with other things. So, for example, what I would do, and this is what I would recommend you to do, I would have your primary weapon like your Casanova, and then finish the person off with this thing. So as you could see there, it was only a 2-shot kill. And if you do even more shots on an enemy player, it'll be even less. It'll be even a 1-shot kill on rare occasions. This is really how you want to use this weapon. You don't want to use this weapon like I have done in this review, where I only use this thing the entire length of a match. It's not going to work out well if you do that. You got to use this thing as a backup, sort of last resort type of thing, and that way it'll make things a lot better. Honestly, I would really like using this weapon as a last resort type of weapon in general, because honestly, with a lot of the area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, well, with pretty much all of them, they're insanely newbie weapons in this game. And I really don't feel like when I'm resorting to a last resort type of weapon, it's fair to use a weapon that's a 1-shot kill. I feel like if I was using my primary weapon most of the time, and at the last second I had to switch over to a heavy section weapon, I don't think it makes sense to use something like the Christmas Ultimatum that's basically the most OP thing in this entire game. I feel like when you're using this weapon, this is one of those true weapons that you would switch to as a last resort type of weapon, and it doesn't make you feel cheap when you use it. So if you're a true valiant pixel gun player, which there's not too many nowadays in 2018, and you want to actually use weapons that aren't that OP at all, then this is one of those ones you're going to want to use. If you want to become a truly good pixel gun 3D player, where if you use this thing and you actually win, you can truly call yourself a talented player, then you might want to consider getting this thing. The wins are going to be on a very rare occasion. You're almost never going to win when you use this thing. But if you can get up into the top 3 when you're using this weapon, then you can truly say you are a pro in Pixel Gun 3D. Because with any other area damage weapon, with most other area damage weapons, I should say, you get first place, second place, third place with those weapons. You can't call yourself a pro. You use the Big Buddy, for example. You use something like the Christmas Ultimatum. You get 20 kills in a match, or 30 kills in a match. You can't call yourself a pro, because it's an easy weapon to use. But if you can use this one, you can snipe people out of the sky with this thing, and you can actually get those kills, then you can really call yourself a pro. And this is one of those weapons that is, it's one of the few area damage weapons that I would call a pro weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. So you might want to consider getting this thing. But if you are tight on gems, if you are tight on coins, and you really can't afford to get something that's not that powerful, I hate to say it, but the soda launcher is just not something you're going to want to get. So, in the end, guys, that's basically it. I don't really have much else I could possibly say about the soda launcher. I really like this weapon. I really like the design. I really like the concept. But the gameplay, I don't really like at all. It's unfortunate. I feel like this truly is what most area damage weapons should be like in Pixel Gun, and if Pixel Gun is watching this, they should take this weapon as a role model. Area damage weapons should not be more powerful than this thing. This thing is about as powerful as I think an area damage weapon in Pixel Gun 3D should be, and if they make the guns like that, then this weapon, this game is going to be so much better. So with that being said, guys, that's basically it. I'm going to jump into Paradise Resort for the last couple of minutes here. I'm going to show you guys gameplay at longer range and how it really decreases when you do use this thing at long range. You don't want to use this thing at long range because it's just not going to work. You can get some pretty cool kills if you can manage to get that blast to hit the enemy player like that guy right there. You feel pretty cool, because he kind of calculated using geometry and calculus and stuff like that, how far away the enemy would be, where that looping shot would hit, and if you can manage to get that shot to hit that player, like I said, you feel like a pro. Like, my God, I was really close to hitting that guy. And a couple more tries, and I'll be able to hit him and get that kill, and it'll be awesome. It's just a lot of fun to use this weapon. Even if it's not the most powerful one, it's fun, and that's why I like this thing. Supercharged rifle, not a fun weapon. Really newbie weapon. This thing, though, it's not. And I like this weapon a lot. So, with that being said, guys, rating this weapon off of how fun it is and stuff like that, I'd give this weapon maybe something like a 9. I'd give this weapon a 9 in terms of how fun it is. But in terms of its raw power, I'd give this weapon like a 5. I'd give this weapon about a 5. It's pretty underpowered, and you're gonna be best to not get this thing if you're tight on gems and coins. So with that being said, that's basically it, guys. Hope y'all did enjoy this video. It was a lot of fun making this video. Even if I didn't get many kills, I do know that, well, if the weapons were actually properly balanced in Pixel Gun 3D, I would have done really, really well. You can't really do anything about it doing gameplays with weapons like this when people only use the most ridiculously OP weapons in the world, like the supercharged rifle. So, in the end, am I mad? Nope, not at all. I know, in my heart, I did well. So thank you all for watching, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below. My voice is kind of going, that's not good. I'm gonna have to rest for tomorrow's video. Make sure to go subscribe down below if you haven't done so already for some more Pixel Gun 3D content, and comment down below which weapon you want to see me review next. With that being said, thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode.